Our story begins at Hogwarts. That's not transphobic, by the way, where four students, Abigail, Kirill, Sonar, and Tam, are all gathering a bunch of cool magical flowers for botany class. That's not transphobic, by the way. And eventually they find a fairy playing around in the trees. But it's a freak fairy, by the way. They follow it, Scooby-Doo style, and then fall into a rabbit hole, Alice in Wonderland style, ending up in this mystical, whimsical plane known as Then they immediately awaken this darkness elemental freak called Isilu, right? Pretty cool. This elemental darkness, very similar to Pitch Black from, Rise of the Guardians. Kind of like a monster of the void. A void monster. This video is brought to you by voidmonster.org, an online shop started by Magic the Gathering artist Forrest ML. The guy who made Spider-Punk or Dockside Extortionist, rest in peace. Every month there is a new release of exclusive TCG-inspired accessories and apparel. The latest drop is the Live and Learn. It includes a deck box and a playmat, and if you want to pick them both up, you're going to get a sweet token card as a bonus. The pre-orders end on January 18th at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you got a little bit of time to pick this one up. It looks amazing. If you want to grab it, use that link in my description down below. You'll find it. It looks amazing. Just look at this. You've been seeing the B-roll footage. My goodness, it looks freaking beautiful. Oh my God. Anyway, thanks so much to Forrest and Void Monster for sponsoring this video. Let's hop right back in. We rejoin our lovely students who are freaking out in a cave and get escorted out by Brigid, who's a Kithkin hero of old. And they give us a lot of exposition about what the hell is happening. So basically, Isilu is this darkness elemental who's tied to the plane and everything like that. And where they go, Shadowmoor follows, which is like a P-switch from Mario, where suddenly the whole area changes and everybody gets moved around. And we see it happen, because suddenly Brigid is like, oh no, watch out, it's Shadow. And turns into the shadow version. And so do a bunch of other Kithkin who are hanging around. So our gang has to run away. Meanwhile, back at Hogwarts that's not transphobic, we've got Liliana Vess, who's hanging out teaching classes when she's suddenly joined by a Johnny. That's right, the lion guy. He's around. He gives her a bunch of info about, what happened in Tarkir Dragonstorm, the last time we actually had a set. Anyways, a Johnny is also like, hey, let me go rescue your students. I got a portal gun. I'm going to go save them. Very nice. He hops over. In a glen, Alendra, that's like the place. It's like a place where all the fairies hang out. Marilyn is hanging out, and she's having an identity crisis because her soul is kind of like Una. Una made her as like an avatar, but then Una died, so she's just Marilyn now, and she's kind of freaking out about it, going through a whole thing. That'll come up later. Meanwhile, it's time for the gang to split up. So, homeboy Kirill falls behind, gets captured by the elves, brought to High Perfect Morcant. Look at her, elf noble, scary evil. She gives even more exposition. Basically, there's the sun guy, and he's Iridu, and he makes a lot of sun happen. Very nice. And then Isilu is going around spreading the darkness, and that's not fun. Basically, since Isilu woke up early, not on schedule, she thinks basically we can ask it, hey, do you like Huey Louie in the news? If that makes sense. And then if we kill it, we get happy giggle time all the time, Lorwyn only, no more Shadowmoor. So then they go sending Kirill after a MacGuffin item, which will come up later. Meanwhile, the bird is like, where'd that Kirill guy go? And then suddenly falls into the river and is rescued by the merfolk. We'll catch up with them later. Anyway, back in the glen, we see Marilyn freaking out about it. And she's talking with Reese, the Evermore, who has like this pact with her where he can't die, because she might get taken over by Una, which is not a thing they want to happen. And he has this little elf fairy thing on his shoulder. And he's like, actually, I realize you're Una, so I'm going to go and fight you. Luckily, there's this big fight, whatever. He slips, they escape, they all get away. Marilyn gets away with Sonar and Tam because, they split up. So, these two, they get on a boat and they meet Ashling, this elemental guy who's super cool. Also from the original Lorwyn. Very nice. They get on a cool little jungle cruise and are trying to go save the day. Eventually, they get stuck between a rock and a hard place, a.k.a. there's scary Kithkin on one side and then scary elves on the other. It's a bad place to be. You don't want to be there. Basically, we see Isalu flying in, and he's got this little fairy on his shoulder. You know, that same one, that same evil little one we've seen this whole time. Basically, Marilyn is like, uh-oh, I'm feeling a lot of brain blast about who that fairy is. I think I know who it is. But not before Reese is like, hey, it's me again, stabs Marilyn with a poison blade because he thinks that she's Una, because obviously that's the whole thing. He's like, that's my pact. I gotta kill you because Una's coming back. Turns out, yeah, she's not Una. And he's like, uh-oh, I made a mistake. Too bad, it's poison. It's bad blade, so you're gonna be dying. Then the fairy's like, hey, you remember me? Yeah, this guy specifically. I might be Oko. That's right. I used to be Una, but now I'm not Una anymore. Same thing that happened to you happened to me, and I got out of here. I'm doing my own thing now. Also, my bad, Reese, I kind of orchestrated the whole stabbing thing because I thought Marilyn was Una, and, you know, she's actually not Una. So that same plot that happened with you just happened with me. We both didn't know. It's a whole thing. My bad, basically. But again, you're poisoned, so that sucks. Well, remember how Kirill went to go find a MacGuffin? Yeah, it's actually the cure to the poison, which is great. So they go and get it, and then Oko gives it to Marilyn, and she's fine. We love that. They have a little bit of brother-sister bonding. Even though they both have like the same soul, I digress. It's a whole thing. But you remember how the little bird Abigail went off with the merfolk? They took her right to the dragon of sun, the sun dragon. Very cool. So then she rolls up with the sun dragon. Nice. And then there's everyone's expecting a big fisticuffs fight moment where it's like, uh-oh, darkness dragon, sun dragon, what's going to happen? Now they just are chill like that. They start playing around and wrestling and stuff like that. They're homies, which is crazy. Everyone's all surprised about that. Then Reese is like, yeah, actually, you're not Una anymore. And everyone, balance has been brought, so my pact is over. And he turns into dust, Thanos style, and he disappears. Wow. Pretty cool. And everyone's like, no, don't go. But he's like, I'm going. Anyway, then Ajani's like, all right, time to get you kids back home. So he uses his portal gun. He brings these 4 back. There's another elf guy. He's not important. Who cares? He comes with because he betrayed the Morcant. Whatever. Lore. Then we go back to Hogwarts. That's not transphobic. We love it. And the story ends with Liliana getting a knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Opening it. What the hell? It's me, but with white mana instead. That's kind of the vibe. It's like she's instead of black, she's like in all white. And it's basically setting up for the next set, which is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Obviously, a complete pickup because April O'Neil, if you spell it out backwards, spells out Liliana Vess. So that's what's going to happen. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you subscribe. Hey, shout out to all my patrons on Patreon. You guys keep the lights on. If you want to join them, I'll roast your commander deck. I'll help it out. I'll build you a custom one. All on my Twitch, Quips&Guac _ Go follow me, please. Also, I have a Discord linked in the description down below. It's fun and free and cool. Also, shout out to Void Monster. Go pick up their latest release while you can. It looks amazing. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace out.